I said in my heart, I will ascend to the heavens. Above the stars, I will set my throne on high. I will make myself as God. This desire wasn't quenched when I was thrust from heaven's courts. No, not at all. Though I know I'll never be God in heaven, I've determined to be worshipped here on earth. Ages ago, we, the sons of God, had our way with the daughters of men. We created giants, living idols, destined for worship, and tradition holds they've gone extinct. But look, have they not reincarnated upon your stages? Can't you feel infatuation's fire raging in your eyes, melting them into acting, preaching, singing, poetry, spitting gloves, molten pride, cool and hardened by you. Fans who knew applause could be so useful, you sculpt them in praise, chisel them golden with approval. Oh, and God, how does it feel to know you aren't the only one who can boast of creating stars alone? I wasn't much of a threat until 1/3 of God's angels were influenced. I give credit to the masses. It's the masses that make one great. You exalt men to mountaintops, forgetting it's impossible to live at those heights. Isn't it interesting that so many of your dope artists have OD'd from the lies in those lines, to think they can snort and smoke their lives to the sky, coveting flight from my wings, so I have supplied them with angel dust. Was designed to be down to earth, not high and lifted up. Why do you call it anointed when dust is usually evidence that something hasn't been used in a while? Dust shall the serpent feast upon all the days of its life, if that's a curse you believe. Yet with earth you make idols, and with dirt you make kings. Haven't you just prepared a feast for the belly of a beast? Remember, the same way I plummeted from shining cherub to curse dragon is the same way your divine celebrities have fallen from ministering servants to professional entertainer. Let me explain. The real question is, what does it mean to entertain? To kidnap the mind with some type of amusement, a diversion. An excellent entertainer is dangerously powerful, harboring the rare ability to blur the lines between creator and creation. When they, as artists, become potter, you become fresh clay in their hands, made to laugh, made to cry, made to think, made to feel. Who cares who made you exist when they just made you forget? No wonder you've exchanged solid preachers for motivational speakers. You dig with those aching, calloused hands you call eyes. You dig, attempting to find life picked and plucked from acoustic guitar graves, and in the coffins of their melodies tuned to the key of C. What I'm doing, you crave sound redemption from deaf poetry, empty entertainment, rendering you twice the oxymoron. You live dying to be made whole by pieces of shattered men who long to be known by many men, who long to be known by many men. The Latin word prostituere embodies this very idea, to be known by many men, to be publicly exposed and offered for sale in exchange for good performance. What's the difference between a session led by a soothsayer and a smooth player? They both get what they want by making you think it's about you. No spirit, no truth. always has the potential to become infected when one goes in unprotected when you lift your hands? Is it pure surrender, or just a pathetic attempt to unscrew the great jar of heaven? Are you praising for his goodness or reaching for his goodies? How dare you? How dare you rebuke me when all you do is reproduce me? We're both out of his presence, but at least one of us knows the truth. Be told worship should be when nothing and everything meets and crumbles at the feet of holy. Sacred intimacy done every time like it's the last, where hearts beat weary from racing to the it is finish lines in the wrinkles of his smile, where men lay prostrate and contrite as broken trophies offered to the one who won them in the first place. But if everyone did that, who would I live through vicariously? Perhaps the dilemma I caused in heaven was a trailer, a preview of a greater story yet to unfold, and I have been given the chance to write its script like I directed the angelic cast from God's kingdom. This must be the sequel where only two roles exist: the stars and the stardust that trails behind them, the worshipped and their worshipers, my ministers. When you wake, do you spend enough time in the mirror for it to open up and tell you the truth about yourself? Does it remind you that loud cheers and amens can never drown out the stubborn voice of sin not dealt with? Does it remind you that the stench of blasphemy yet sits heavy on your breath? If not, then look again. My arrogance, my charm, carved in your smile, should make you think envelope in the hand of Maury Povich. Our identical traits, our identical pursuits should be paternity tests enough to prove that I am your father. My followers, oh my followers, how does it feel to know your future taste of flame? When the blind lead the blind, they both fall into the same pit. Are you not aware that false gods will keep your name from being written in the book of life as bride because it's so obviously been changed to misled? Will you continue to claw, to drag God from his throne down to your realm, shrinking him silly and snug into your favorite artist preacher box? Since you're so convinced you're toying with a clown, take heed when winding down that one day suddenly the music will stop and the top will pop. When his face appears, you'll hide yours in shame when you recognize you never knew Jack to begin with. When the head springs forth to make the body invisible, the knee of every fool who thought himself God will bow, and every tongue, including mine, shall confess that in light of the Father who art in heaven, hallowed, empty, and hollow be our names. For when his kingdom comes, his will shall be done on earth as it was